We were the only black, in this little community here, we had about 3 or 4 black families. And surrounding all of it was all Caucasian. They called us names, they said whatever to us, and they tried to instigate, but we stood our grounds. That's what I learned. You have to stand for what's right and be ready to back it up. And we did that. And we are still doing that. My name is Lavetta Pierce Parker. My parents' name were Ruby Lee Nelson Pierce. And my father's name is Leviticus Pierce. As you can see, quite a difference in names. My mother named him after the 3rd book of the Bible, Leviticus. And he was a very, very strong part of who I am today. And so is my mother. My father was mild and meek. My mom was a rip-roaring woman, took no trash from nobody, spoke her mind. My dad was very calm, but if you pushed him too far, you knew about it. Everything came in sets of 3s. My mother had 3 girls, but from the first marriage. Then I came along. Then she had 3 boys after me. And then she had 3 girls after the 3 boys. So everybody stood out. A family of 10 kids. And we all are different, but we all are alike. We were instilled to look out for one another. At least I was. I've always had that in me, to look out for my brothers and sisters. I'm a quiet person unless you get me to talking about God, then I explode. And I guess that's the key thing. My grandfather was a minister. I had a lot of ministers in my family on my father's side. My grandmother was a missionary, and they lived on the land where I am now. People would call us, if you were to ask them, they would say that we lived in the country and we didn't have a whole lot, but we had everything. We never wanted for anything. I mean, all our needs were met. We ran free, we played in the fresh air, and we were loved. My mother was a very, very intelligent woman. She completed high school at a very early age, and she taught us at home, and she was tougher on us than the teachers were. We all graduated from high school with honors. We all, 10 of us, had some form of higher education. I was born under segregation. Matter of fact, I completed high school under segregation and started college under segregation. But one summer, my parents allowed me to go to St. Augustine, Florida, to live with my cousin and get a job and work, help save up money for the next school year. And that time was when we started integration. Martin Luther King was in St. Augustine, and we went to the rallies, and I walked in the lines with the people that were marching for integrating the different kind of hotels and restaurants, and we walked the street with the Ku Klux Klan on one side and with the people with their German shepherds, attack dogs on the other side, and I walked in the line, in the back of the line where the men were, and they protected us. My father saw me on television and he came and got me. He said, I didn't send you over there to participate in that. But hey, I was involved in it. I participated. I went to the sites. I marched in the streets. I sang the song. I helped shield people. There's always been an issue with the race. It's always been a problem. But my mother instilled in us that they weren't better than we are, that we're just as good as they are or better. They couldn't do anything that I couldn't do, Only thing we fought for and we still fight for is to have an opportunity. Don't prevent me from having the same kind of opportunity. I dealt with that in college at St. John's. I had a professor in math, and this girl, Caucasian, sit next to me. We took a test. She copied off of my paper. I know she did. I allowed her to. She copied off of my paper, and when I got my paper back, it was wrong. Hers was right. She tried to tell the professor what happened, but he wouldn't adhere or even think that I knew enough that she would copy off of my paper. So he gave me a bad grade in that class, and I took it home to my mother. We went to the dean of the school, and we dealt with it. There was nothing they could do to the professor because he had given a grade. But the professor wasn't there the next year. So we did that. He couldn't do it to someone else. But we always had to defend ourselves. We always had to prove ourselves. I found that I had to prove myself more because I was black. And then in the area as well, it's because I was a female. Because some things I did, they didn't think a female could do. But you had to show them. You had to prove that you could do stuff. You have to know who you are. We believe in God and we depended on that. It's no way that I would have been able to do anything without that. That's where my resources stand. That's where who I depend upon is on God. I have a favorite scripture and I always quote it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your paths. A lot of times I didn't know which way I was going. No way I would have been able to go to school. People told me when I was in high, oh, you'll never amount to nothing. You can't do this, you can't do that. But God made the way for that. And I learned that trick. And that's with life. You got to learn how to get on and off the clutch in life. What you're gonna fight for and what you won't fight for. You may think you're winning today, but that's just one battle. You got a whole war to fight. And don't give up on the first battle. Don't let your enemy know what you know. Don't let them know what you know. Save some things and bring them out when you need to.